So you want to learn how to Worldline skate. Perhaps you've seen some videos and are struggling to get it down, or maybe this is your first time hearing about Worldline skating. Regardless of wherever you are in the learning process, this video will hopefully give you everything you need to know to master Worldline skating and beyond light. Before we hop into learning how to Worldline skate, let's quickly see what it can do. As you can see, Worldline skating is great for picking up some tremendous speed. So without further ado, let's learn how to Worldline skate and beyond light. For the purposes of this video, I'll be Worldline skating in the moth yards of the Cosmodrome, but it's important to know that you can do this anywhere as long as you have these three things. 1. The Worldline Zero Sword. 2. A cute little hunter. And 3. Any ledge that you can fall off of. After you have those three things, you're now ready to Worldline skate. The process is fairly simple and only takes 2 steps. First, run until you have temporal sprint, and then press RT or your custom bound heavy attack to tesseract off the ledge. Once you've mastered jumping off ledges, the next and final step is fairly easy but relies on some proper timing. Just like before, you want to begin by sprinting until you have temporal sprint and then activate your heavy attack at the ledge. However, instead of falling down to the ground, you want to immediately press your jump button and the new stasis air dive button at the same exact time. For default players like myself, that is pressing A and B at the same time immediately after pressing RT. I'll play this back for you in slow motion so you can see the timing a little better, and we will talk about some common mistakes and some tips for improving afterwards. Now let's talk about some common mistakes and misconceptions. One thing I wondered when starting to Worldline skate is if I needed to be on a certain jump, but I can confirm that you can do this on any jump, but I definitely don't recommend using high jump as you will most likely lose momentum when using it. Another thing I forgot to mention earlier is that you do need to be on the stasis subclass with the air dive aspect. Sorry if this caused you any confusion, and my apologies for not mentioning it sooner. One other common mistake I made when learning was waiting too long to press my jump and air dive buttons. You want to make sure you're pressing those buttons immediately after heavy attacking off the ledge. Otherwise, you will just Worldline off the edge and fall. Finally, I know some of you may be concerned with pressing both jump and air dive at the same time. Trust me when I say this. You do not need to play claw or have paddles on your controller to do this. Just keep at it and you can definitely get this down. That should cover all the common mistakes and misconceptions, so let's move on to some tips for improving. One tip for going faster is pressing the jump and air dive button quicker after you heavy attack off the ledge. The quicker you are able to press those 2 buttons after the heavy attack, the more speed you will get. Another tip for when you're going super fast toward a wall is to light attack with your sword just before you hit the wall. This will prevent you from splattering yourself against it. Another tip I have for maintaining speed is to try and space out your jumps properly. And when you hit the ground, try to immediately jump the moment you touch it to keep up your momentum. The last thing I want to say isn't really a tip, but I figured it was worth mentioning. One cool thing about this Worldline skate is that it doesn't cost any sword ammo unless you mess up. Therefore, as long as you have at least 1 sword ammo, you can hypothetically skate as long as you don't mess up. Hopefully that gives you guys everything you need to know to get out there and start Worldline skating on your hunters. As I said earlier, all this really comes down to is timing, so just stay at it and I'm sure you'll be able to get it down. As always, thanks for watching, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comment section, and I'll do my best to get back to you as quickly as I can.